On this show, I break out my entire collection and do a full review on everything. Whoa! Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Before I get into all my cubes, I've got quite a bit. I want to emphasize that I'm going to butcher names. I know that, so just bear with me. I'll keep a link in the description for just about every cube I have. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into it. So the first cube I have here is going to be the MoYu Aolong or Aolong 3x3. This was my first real like Rubik's cube purchase, speed cube purchase, and this was my main for a while. I love this cube. Obviously, I don't use it as much because, frankly, it's just not that exciting to me. It doesn't turn as quickly, and I don't know. It feels like it's slowing down. It could definitely use a tune-up for sure. But don't get me wrong, for about $10, this is a great speed cube, and highly recommend. Great corner cutting, as I do it right now. So for the price, like this cube does a really good job cutting corners, and again, it could definitely use for a tune-up, and yeah, other than that, it's a great cube. The next cube I have here is the MoYu Aosu 4x4. This is still the 4x4 that I use on a regular basis. I love this cube. Could there be better cubes out there? Sure. But, as far as like the quality of it goes, like this cube has good weight to it. It just feels like it's never going to break. I don't know how to explain it, but when I'm solving things, for instance, when I get to these bigger puzzles, I like puzzles that have weight, that have durability. I don't really care for light puzzles because I feel like I'll turn it quickly and I'll break it. But I don't feel like I'm going to even for a 4x4, like this has a decent kind of corner cutting, good guts. I've taken this apart many times, and yeah, overall, great cube for the price as well. I think this thing is about $10 if I remember correctly as well. So again, another great cube. So the next cube I have here is my MoYu Lingpo 2x2. This is actually my 2x2 main. I love this cube. This is actually a great cube as far as the speed goes, and there's really not a whole lot wrong with this cube. Very durable. Again, it doesn't feel cheap. It feels like it has weight to it. And again, I highly recommend this cube as far as if you want to get into speed solving to your 2x2. Great corner cutting, as I talk about that, and it doesn't do it, of course. Yeah, just an overall good cube. I like the colors, very bright colors. These last three cubes I showed you all have really good color, really solid, defined colors. Some cubes out there, the reds and their oranges just kind of blend together, and these colors are just very distinct, very good colors. So there you have it. So next I have my MoYu, I think it's Aochuang 5x5. This puzzle is the first 5x5 I purchased, and I quickly purchased a different one. I liked again how durable this was, but I wanted something that just felt better in my hands. So this cube is not a cube I actually use anymore. It's just something that just kind of part of my collection. It could be lubed up, but again, as far as a cube goes, I just don't really prefer it. And but I'm sure it's a great cube out there. I'm sure people use it, but again, it just feels very geary when I'm turning. Like it kind of it doesn't lock up, but it feels like it could lock up. And again, it could definitely use for a tune-up for sure. But in my opinion, it's not really worth investing in the lube for it, because I'd rather just use it at other puzzles, especially the other 5x5 I use on a regular basis. So there you have it. The next puzzle I have here is my Shengshou 6x6 black puzzle. This is the 6x6 I use in my videos. It's not the best cube out there. I think I picked it up for about $16. It's not a great speed cube at all. It's something that, kind of like my 7x7, I just dread solving it because it takes forever. I haven't really cared to invest in a high-end 6x6 and up, just because, frankly, I don't really invest a lot of time in it. It's one of those things where once you know how to solve it and you do it occasionally, like it's something I'll take on an airplane and I'll fly with it because I don't really want to deal with it, but it does make for killing time. So again, not a great speed cubing puzzle, but again, as far as the puzzle is concerned, this puzzle does me well, and again, it travels well because I'm not worried about it breaking at all. So there you have it. So there's my Shengshou 6x6. So moving right along, this is my current 5x5 main. It's my Shengshou 5x5 black puzzle. This puzzle just feels so much better. You know, corner cuts without. I don't feel like I'm gonna like break it when I corner cut this puzzle. You know, I don't corner cut it too often, obviously, because I do complete turns. But again, this puzzle proportionally, like I actually really like the tiny corners it has. For whatever reason, when these bigger puzzles come out and they have really big corner pieces, I don't know why, but I just don't like it. I know there's no way of avoiding it, you know, but as far as this puzzle is concerned, this is a really good durable puzzle. So I highly recommend it, and I'm going to put a link in the description. What I'll probably do is link up my mains, my current mains, but this is the 5x5 that I find myself solving almost on a daily basis. I just enjoy this puzzle. I enjoy solving it. Again, it is great. I haven't lubed this thing in a long time, and it still feels like it's fairly well lubed. So I know that when I lube it again, it'll be like butter. So yeah, again, another great puzzle. Again, I highly recommend this one. All right, so moving right along, here's my Shengshou 7x7 black puzzle. This puzzle is just a brick. I guess you could say it's my quote-unquote main 7x7, but I don't really prefer. Actually, you know what? I have another 7x7 I'd rather use because I just prefer the feel of it. But this puzzle is just it's very locky. You know, I would never corner cut it. Nor is there any reason to corner cut a 7x7. But when I come out with the video for this cube, this whole series, like I'm dreading it because I know how long it's going to take me to film all the content. And frankly, these big puzzles are it just takes time. That's just the way it is. I'm not a speed solver when it comes to the 7x7. You know, I think I can solve this whole puzzle in like, I want to say maybe 8-9 minutes. It's just one of those, you know, strenuous things of building the centers. And yeah, so again, I don't really invest, like I said, for my 6x6, I didn't really waste the time investing into a good cube because I don't use it enough. You know, this is what I take traveling, and for the purpose, this thing is a solid brick. I don't feel the need to bring it everywhere because again, I have, again, I travel occasionally, and again, it just kills the flight. And it's fun to watch people sitting in the plane and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you can solve that!" And you know, the guy anybody who sits next to me is like, "Yeah, you know, I bet you I can solve it under 10 minutes." And most people are like, "Nope, I need to start betting money when I do these things and have them time me, and look like I'm struggling for the first minute and give them some hope." So yeah, so there you have it. There's my 7x7. Okay, so the next cube I'm going to show you is my YJ Axis cube. This is a fun cube. It reminds me to do a solve on this and kind of a walkthrough tutorial. But this is just a fun cube. I do enjoy it. It's just a different cube, all in all. I am bummed because this right here got snagged, and it'll never be the same. So I'm gonna have to buy new stickers for this because I do like this cube. And honestly, the reason why I don't solve it as much is because of this. It just bugs me. And yeah, frankly, it's just been at the bottom of my pile to resticker, but eventually I will. But if you've never played with an Axis cube, it is fun. You know, you definitely have to like worry about rotating these pieces, and there's tricks to it. But overall, it's a fun cube to solve, and it just looks cool scrambled. I'm not going to scramble it now because I want to make sure I get through all my cubes, and but it looks cool scrambled. It's fun to solve. It's pretty easy to solve. But people are just so overwhelmed when they see it. They're like, "Wow, that looks difficult." But you know, when you actually solve this cube, you know, it's just a fun way to impress people. So, not that you have to impress people to gain acceptance, but you know, I said it's just one of those things where it looks scarier than it really is. So, all right, so moving right along, I bought this Shengshou Magic Cube set a while back just because I wanted to have some white cubes. And contrary to my other 2x2, I never use this one. This is about as budget of a 2x2 as it gets, I feel like. It actually rotates pretty well, but it just feels so cheap. The colors really do stand out and pop. And frankly, at this point, I don't really like white cubes. I can't get around it. Even with like the GANS 356, Air SM, the white cube, I just don't like it. And I would take a black puzzle any day over a white puzzle. So, just a preference. But as far as this cube goes, it just feels very cheap. When I go in here, it just feels like very hollowed out, and I don't know. It's not a favorite of mine, but again, it's the Shengshou 2x2 white puzzle, and yeah, there you have it. Okay, so going right along on the same set, the Shengshou Magic Cube set. This is the Shengshou 3x3 white puzzle. This cube I absolutely don't like. As much as it feels like it has this buttery like turn feel, it's weird. It has resistance, but it doesn't. It kind of feels like it has like bananas in its gears, and it's like this mushy turn, mush. So again, not a favorite. I don't waste my time on this cube at all. Again, it's just something I have. It's like, oh wow, you have a white 3x3, cool. But I never use this one, and I think I've maybe solved it once because I got it, and I make it a point to solve all my puzzles that I get. Just because I hate the idea of buying a puzzle and setting it on a shelf and looking at it. So if I don't get mileage out of it, then it's useless. And again, I've officially I can say I got mileage out of this cube. So there you have it. Awesome white on the stickers right there. Yay for peeling stickers, so you can tell it's been used. That's after one use, by the way. I peeled that. So buyer beware. Okay. So this is the same set, Shengshou Magic Cube set 4x4. It's the Shengshou 4x4 white puzzle. This puzzle actually is starting to feel a little bit better, and the quality of this puzzle is shockingly upgraded from the 3x3. So I do occasionally enjoy solving this puzzle, even though I don't really care for white puzzles. This puzzle does feel good. It's certainly not my main. The main one is my MoYu Aosu 4x4, and but this one is a close second. And yeah, so again, this is out of the set probably one of my favorite ones. Okay, so last but not least is the 5x5 Shengshou white puzzle from the Magic Cube set. This cube is just not, it feels good as far as it feels like it turns well, but it's very locky, and it also snags, like right there, it snagged. Like if you don't have all these pieces perfectly lined up, you will snag. And if you're solving this quickly, if you could even see in this puzzle, some of these pieces are just lined up poorly. It looks like there's some pieces that are popping out a little bit. Just not a very well put together puzzle, and it's very rushed. So again, I don't personally recommend this puzzle, but if you're looking for to get some cubes on the cheap, I think this whole set, all 4 cubes were like $17. So, very cheap cube, but at the time I was like, screw it. $17 is not really a lot of money, and having 4 puzzles to my collection, screw it, I'll go ahead and keep it. So, there's my amazing Shengshou 5x5 white puzzle. Alright, so next I got the 6x6 Shengshou white puzzle. This is actually a very sturdy cube, and contrary to the 5x5, the 6x6 is actually put together very well. It doesn't snag whatsoever. Again, it comes down to the preference. I just prefer the black puzzles over the white puzzles. I don't know why. It's just the way it looks. But this could definitely use a tune-up. I haven't solved this puzzle for a while, so I could definitely tell it's a very well needed tune-up for this puzzle. But it does. Oops, there's of course, as I bring it out, the pieces start to separate. So I was joking about how great this puzzle is, right? Look at that. You can even see this piece just come out. It wants to come out. Either way, this is slightly better. And again, not a speed cube, but it's very durable, solid 6x6. Speaking of solid 6x6s, I got the Shengshou 7x7 white puzzle. You know, I wanted to complete the whole set of having, you know, 2 through 7 in black and white, and this one completed that collection. I solved this thing one time. I don't really care for it, but I would say it's, as far as quality goes, this is definitely a better quality cube, I feel like, than the 7x7 Shengshou black cube that I showed you earlier. So so this is again just one of those cubes where, you know, it's a 7x7, and I'm not really willing to invest into a good 7x7. So, but as far as like the quality goes, it's not really a bad cube. So I think I spent like 20 bucks on this thing, and I'd say it's worth 20 bucks. So yeah. So next thing is a little like, I think it's a Fang blue, or what is it? It's a gold mirror cube. Definitely a budget cube, not one I recommend. I have another one that I use. If you haven't played with the mirror cube, it is fun. It definitely looks cool when it's like, you know, it's all scrambled, and it you know, it just I don't know, it just has like different pieces. And again, this is basically like a 3x3 in its sense. The hardest part about this cube is getting it when you're doing your last layer and getting that last layer across. You have to make sure that you know there's lots of little things you got to do to like get these pieces back, because this piece could be misaligned, or yeah, it's not like a regular 3x3. So there's different tricks to it, but I need to do a video on this as well, but I won't do it with the gold. I'll do it with my blue. But again, this is a fun cube. All right, this is my first Pyraminx. I got it with the same set. It's a very budget. It's from like the Squad Magic cube set, and it's this super cheap Pyraminx. I do not recommend it at all. Just something that I don't care to solve with. It feels, and it is very cheap. Something that, again, I got it because I really wanted to like have it, but unlike my current Pyraminx I use, my Shengshou Pyraminx, this doesn't have any like real lock. It snags a lot. It feel like I wouldn't even waste lube on it. It's that useless. So again, and the stickers are just peeling naturally. So again, very cheap. I would not recommend it. I just wouldn't recommend buying anything from the Squad Magic Cube set, because again, I didn't like it. That was my impression. You might have a different opinion. So, all right. Last but not least, for that same set, the Squad Magic Cube set, this is the budget Megaminx. This was my quote-unquote main Megaminx for a while, which is sad because this thing's a horrible Megaminx. Turns very poorly, and you just can't do anything with it. Like, it's so hard to turn. Like, every turn needs to be with like 2 hands. Like, turn. Okay. Line it up. Turn. Like, it got me through it. I cut my teeth on it, but now I've got a much better Megaminx, which I will be putting out a video for in the near future. So look out for that. But again, I'm not going to really waste my time talking about this cube because, again, it's cheap. Yeah, it's very greasy still. I mean, I've had this thing for a while, and it's extremely greasy. I mean, I feel the grease just turning it, and I think I took it apart recently just to kind of clean it, and it didn't need cleaning, but my table was full of grease when I was done. So, and it's also shedding. So there's my my budget Megaminx. Okay, so the next puzzle I have is from the Roxenda Magic Cube set. It's the MoFang MF5S. It's a 2x2, and you know, this kind of like the last 2x2 I showed you, the white Shengshou. This puzzle is just, you know, not one I really care to use. It just feels very budget, and I know when I got this set originally on my video, the unboxing video, I did not give it a good review. However, the set as a whole, I've actually warmed up to it. I use this set a lot at work, just to kind of pass the time whenever I found some downtime and I want to solve something. And now that I've broken them in, all the cubes except for the 2x2, I would say are cubes that I would use on a more frequent basis. So yeah, again, this 2x2 is not one that I necessarily recommend, but to get it, you pretty much buy the whole set. I think it was like $16 or $17, and you know, for the price, you know, I would upgrade it from do not buy to, yeah, I'd buy it. It's worth 17 bucks. So, all right. So moving quite along. This is the MoFang MF5S 3x3 from the Roxenda Magic Cube set. This is my work main. So I don't bring cubes to work. I leave this there because if it gets stolen, I don't really care. And this is just, it's one that I use a lot, you know, so I'm not really against, you know, said bringing a cube to work and leaving it there. This is again just one of those cubes where now that I've warmed it up, it went from feeling really cheap to something that I actually enjoy using. I personally am a fan of stickerless. I love when cubes are stickerless. I don't really care for stickers because I do snag them occasionally. My nails are kind of long here and there, and they're not long right now, but stickerless just keeps it clean. It avoids any peels. It's durable. It travels well. I would never put my GANS, you know, 356 SM in a bag. So I'd be terrified that it would like peel, and it's just so lightweight that I would just be terrified. This, I'll throw in a bag. I'm not really worried about it. So again, for the price, great cube. In the same Roxenda Magic Cube set, this is the MoFang MF5S 4x4, and this is my work 4x4 main. I love this cube. Again, when I first got it, hated it, and now that I've warmed it up quite a bit, this cube is actually a fairly good cube. I love stickerless cubes, and again, my main is obviously my MoYu 4x4, but this is again my work main, and I do like it. So again, as far as the set goes, I would recommend the Roxenda set now, and I'll keep a link in the description for that. And again, for the price, getting all four of those cubes, definitely worth it. All right, so last but not least for the set, this is the Roxenda Magic Cube set, MoFang MF5S 5x5. Again, this went from being kind of a crummy cube to something I actually enjoy using. By far, this is not my 5x5 main. Like I said before, I've got that, you know, that Shengshou I really enjoy. But this is again something that I really I've grown to enjoy. It doesn't really lock up. It feels smooth. It's stickerless, and it's just kind of everything I enjoy. But again, it is more of a cheaper cube, and there are parts of it that definitely show that. But as far as a consistent cube that I keep at work, and I'm not really afraid of it being stolen, this cube is worth it, I feel like. All right, so getting out of the realm of the traditional cubes, we got our black stickerless ghost cube. It comes with gold and silver stickers. Personally, I just liked it being just black. And ghost cubes are fun. If you've never solved one, I highly recommend getting one and just playing around with it. It's essentially a 3x3 mod, and it's, you know, it doesn't solve like a 3x3 necessarily. To make any moves, you have to, like I said, misalign the cube here, like that, and then you can make turns. It's just one of those things where, you know, if you've never actually played with it and seen it, you just won't know. But again, I enjoy the ghost cubes. I've got two of them, and yeah. But it's one I do recommend. I have a stickered one as well. I don't care for as much. It looks cooler, but as far as a ghost cube goes, this is a good quality ghost cube. Okay, moving right along. This is my, I believe it's the CuberSpeed Fangcun ghost cube. It has these cool like carbon fiber, you know, like stickers, make it look pretty sweet. You know, it would be really cool if these stickers didn't peel off, like these little stickers right there. these peel quite a bit and pretty frequently, and it sucks when you like it falls off and you lose it because you're kind of relying, it's nice to have. I mean, I don't need it. I can just peel them all off and have a white cube, but I like the feel of it, and even though I don't like stickers, like these stickers do feel good. This turns really well, much better than the black one, and frankly, just having the stickers there is just a good reference point. The other one doesn't have those, and so you got to kind of use you have to know a lot more about the ghost cube to solve it successfully. With this one, you can kind of see where the stickers fall in line, like these just make it just makes more sense to me when I see it, as opposed to these big giant pieces, knowing where things fall in line. So I don't know, I'm not really doing a good job explaining myself, but again, I like this cube, but again, I wouldn't make it my main. I certainly wouldn't travel with it. Okay, so going into my current mirror cube main, this is my what is it, I think it's a Fang Blue 3x3 mirror cube, and I really enjoy this puzzle. My first mirror cube was the gold one, and did not like it, and I solved it. I had fun solving it. It's a fun cube to solve, and it's a fun cube to scramble, but it did motivate me to buy a better, more reliable mirror cube. So now I have this one, and I do enjoy it, and I definitely recommend it. This is one that I'll link in the description as well, so you can see the pricing. I think it's like $6 or $7, and in my opinion, worth every penny. So there you have it. All right, so here's a cube that I've talked about quite a bit. I've done a review, an unboxing, a giveaway, 2 giveaways now with this thing, and it's my QiYi Warrior W 3x3. I love this cube. For about $5.50, $6, probably one of the best budget speed cubes on the market. Great corner cutting. It just feels good. It's a stickerless, which again is what I love. I'm not a fan of the stickered cubes, but again, this cube was my main for a while. Again, very good cube. Could use some lube, but for the price and the cleaning too, you can see how dirty it is in there. But for the price, this is one that anybody's like, hey, I want to get a good speed cube. What should I get? This is my go-to like budget speed cube, and you'll probably for a long time. It's between this and the MF3 RS, whatever, MF3 RS. I can't even speak. But this one is just, it's a cube I enjoy. It's a cube I promote. So again, if you haven't purchased your QiYi Warrior W 3x3, I highly recommend it. Going into my new Shengshou Pyraminx block puzzle, this is one I really do enjoy. It's got good locking. Like I love it has a magnetic feel. Yeah, I know it's not magnetic. It just has these bearings in it that like lock it in place, and like I like the feel of it. It just has a very good like feel of the puzzle. Like it's something that you can solve with quickly. You have to get used to that bump, but once you get used to the bump, it just feels like a very sturdy puzzle. I think I spent like $10 on it. In my opinion, worth every penny of it. A Pyraminx is not one that I would recommend getting a budget one on. I would spend a little bit more money and get a decent Pyraminx because you'll just have more fun with it. I had no fun with that last one because it was kind of like that Christmas cube I solved. It was just, it was very like grainy and sandpapery, And as much as I enjoy the Christmas cube, as far as like the gesture and the gift, it was hard to solve, and it was just one of those things where it just took endurance. So with that said, here, this is the Shengshou Pyraminx. Okay, next we have my 2x2x3. It's a QiYi Black Cuboid. I have fun with this. This is actually a really fun cube to solve, and I've put out a video with it. Very quick, easy tutorial. It's not really that difficult to solve, but again, it's just a fun, different cube. I think I spent like $6 on it. I think it's worth it. It isn't like a really high quality cuboid, but but again, it's fun to play with, fun to solve, especially if you've never solved a 2x2x3. So yeah, I recommend it. Okay, so the next cube I have here is my the QiYi MoFang IV cube. This cube is just really easy to like, I don't know, really easy to solve and scramble. And if you've never had an IV cube, I don't know, it's not a challenging cube by any means. Very easy to solve. You can probably solve this thing. You know, you could probably learn a quick. You could watch one of my videos and probably have this thing solved in under 6 seconds with relative ease. Again, it doesn't require too many steps. It's a very simple puzzle, and it's just different. So if you like having new puzzles in your collection, I recommend getting it. I certainly recommend this one because this one it's a sturdy puzzle. It feels good, and personally, I like pretty much anything QiYi puts out. They're just good cubes. So yeah. All right, my next puzzle here is my QiYi, of course, MoFang Square One. I have another Square One that I'll show you, and I hate it. This is probably the only Square One that I recommend. It just feels better. It's an easier puzzle to maneuver. It doesn't require, if you've never played with a Square One, I recommend getting it. I'm going to put out a video pretty soon on how to solve it. It's, well, and of course, as I talk about it, pieces like to come out. So, it isn't necessarily like the highest quality Square One, but as far as like ease of use, like this cube is just very easy to maneuver. And as far as like making your, you know, when you're making your moves, you'll find that it's just an easier cube to like maneuver around. My other Square One is just not that impressive. So again, I like this one and expect a solve video out soon. All right. One cube that I'm not bashful about is my GANS 356 RSM. I love this cube, and it's by all means my show main. This is the cube that I keep packaged up because it's almost too nice for me to like play with on a regular basis. My current main is actually the GAN RSC Rubik's Cube. It's a speed cube. I love it. It's just durable. It's stickerless, and this one has stickers. And I'm just so paranoid that I'm going to peel a sticker. But for all my 3x3 tutorials and my walkthroughs, this is the cube that I use. And again, I love it. I love the magnetic bump that it has. I'm so used to it, and I almost miss it. I mean, like, whenever I'm doing a solve without it, I miss it. I look forward to the bump. So yeah. So there you go. I love my GANs. If you haven't had one, I'm also giving one away in my giveaway. So this is the grand prize, the GANS 356 RSM. And again, very solid cube. I love the honeycomb pattern on the inside here, which you can't see because my lighting is just too bright. But again, it's just overall, it just feels so good. You know, yeah. Get one. All right, so the next one, moving right along, we have the QiYi Skewb Stickerless. This cube is actually really fun. I don't know if you've ever had a chance to play with one. I love the clicking. Personally, it doesn't have magnets, but the clicking, little bearings in there, click it in place. And I like that. It isn't like the best speed skewb, but as far as like that click, I like the click. Clicking's fun, especially when you're solving. And clicking also just keeps, you know, if you know you have to rotate it twice, you can count it. So it's great for like making quick moves. And you just know when you've hit your 2 mark or 1 mark. Yeah. Anyways, great cube, great skewb. I shouldn't call it a cube. It's a skewb, even though it's cube shaped. But yeah, again, it's stickerless, so you know I like it, and it's QiYi, so I love it. All right, here's my 1x3x3. Totally useless. Personally, I think this is one of the dumbest things I've ever purchased. It's poor quality. It's from I-xun. It's a 1x3x3 floppy. You really can't scramble it enough to where you can't figure it out, because you can do little moves like this. You can bring it around and bring it over, and yeah, there's just lots of things you can do with it, but it's really basic, really easy to solve. If you get one of these and you can't figure out how to unsolve it or solve it, you're probably... See, it's even locking up right there. Ugh, I hate this thing. Anyways, so I won't go much into it. I don't recommend this. If you just want something weird in your collection, I think it was like $3 or $4. Not worth every penny of it, but again, yeah, I have a floppy. I might get a bigger one just for the heck of it, but as far as something I enjoy playing with, I don't really enjoy it. So, yeah. So there's the floppy. All right. So here's my current like daily main, the GAN RSC Rubik's Speed Cube. I love this thing. I don't know how I'd feel about it, but like, man, this cube is just so good. It's fast. I need to add a little bit more lube to it, but man, this thing just feels so good. You know, especially when I'm like, you know, doing a bad job here, but yeah. I don't know. Once you like get it warmed up, man, it just feels good. So, anyways, something I recommend. It's like 16 or 17 bucks too. And like, as far as a cube, it's like, I just love the collaboration between Rubik's and GAN. It's just a match made in heaven here. And again, I'm always so hesitant to like do anything Rubik's because again, my first cube I ever got was a Rubik's brand, and I was so excited to have it, and it was like, yay, I got a Rubik's cube. And like now I hate it. It's like a 2 out of 10. It's I don't know if lube will help it. It's just very tight. It's very, very grippy. This is not grippy at all. But like the GANS 356 RSM, like that cube, it's way lighter and it's easier to move. But for whatever reason, like this is a remarkably like easy turning cube, but it's like more durable. I love this non-scratchy like plastic tile instead of stickers. So it's stickerless, but it's like it looks like they're stickers, and it's very well grippy. There's good grip to it. These pieces come out really well. I've taken it apart. I've looked at it. I love the guts. Like everything about this cube is like for the price, great cube. So I travel with this. It's scratch proof, so there's no worrying about the tile scratching. So yeah. So again, I would recommend picking this up. Again, this is my absolute main currently. On my nightstand, I solve this thing every single night. And yeah, you should get one. All right. Going into my current Megaminx main is this one right here. I love this cube. I love this Megaminx. This is like reinvigorated my love for Megaminx, and it's motivated me to put out a solve video. Not out yet, but expect to see it soon. I like the stickerless. I like these grips. You know, unlike the other one, like I can finger it. Or that sounded terrible. I can finger flick it. Unlike the other one, where I have to use 2 hands and like turn it and keep it, you know, line it up and turn it. Like this one with relative ease, like I can pretty much, yeah, I can pretty much do multiple turns with like, you know, a finger there, and it's way easier to use. So again, I like this cube. I recommend it. I think it was like, I want to say it was like 16 bucks. If you want to try Megaminx, I highly recommend this one. I'm sure there are better ones out there, but for the price, like this just does it for me. So again, this is the QiYi Megaminx stickerless, and I recommend it. Okay, now it's time to go into my older puzzles. These are the more obscure ones, and a lot of these puzzles I actually got off Craigslist. I was looking for interesting puzzles, and I found this guy who was selling like 8 puzzles, most of which I haven't seen in the stores, and they're pretty old. This is actually a Meffert's gear ball, and I've actually never attempted to solve this personally, so I don't know how to solve it yet. So this is one of those things where I'd like to dedicate more time to it. I can't imagine it's going to be extremely hard to solve, but It's very locky. Probably should use some lube just to like make it better. But yeah, this was again in that bundle of things I got for like I met a guy on Craigslist. For like 8 cubes, he was selling them for like $15. I was like, why not? So there's more to like add to my collection. I haven't solved them all, but again, this kind of came with it, and yeah, it's fun. So it's kind of cool, kind of a neat little like old school puzzle. Okay, here's the first cube I ever got. It's the Rubik's brand Rubik's Cube. How loud that is! Ugh, ugh. It's just like going from like a GANS to this is like no comparison. Like, I don't even like playing with this because like, you can't even solve it. Like if you're trying to be quiet anywhere, like let's say you're in a waiting room solving a puzzle, like you stand out. Like you can hear this thing a mile away. I can't even turn it while talking. I don't play with this at all. I never solve it anymore. It just sits there collecting dust, probably why it sucks so much more. I guess its upside is that it's stickerless and it has these tiles, but these tiles aren't even like, they're not scratch proof. They aren't grippy. When I hand sweat when I play with it. Overall, I just don't use this cube anymore, but I have it in my collection, so why not? Here's a cube that I got in that collection as well. It's a kind of an old school 4x4 from Rubik's brand. It's a very sturdy puzzle, but it's old, and I've never seen one else. I've never seen another puzzle like it. As far as just like the level of sturdiness, it's hard to show you how it's built, but it's just a different puzzle, and it's not easy to solve, easy to turn. It's very like locky. Stickers are peeling, and I don't think you can buy this anywhere. I don't know if Rubik's really sells 4x4s and 5x5s anymore. I think they might online, but I think they're pretty much with like the 3x3s. But again, this is just an old school 4x4 from Rubik's. This is probably my most interesting cube. So this is a 5x5 Rubik's, and I'm pretty sure it's metal. Like the pieces are plastic, but it's really heavy, and like you can hear the metal inside of it. I think it's metal pieces. This is like, it doesn't even turn well. Like I don't know how anybody would ever want this puzzle. It's like every piece locks. Like I'm turning it at full speed. That's full speed turning right there. This puzzle is one I've never solved. Frankly, I'm afraid to scramble it and solve it because I feel like this would take me an hour to do. But it's got some significant weight to it, lots of weight. This is certainly the heaviest cube I have, and it's definitely rare. So yeah, an old school Rubik's brand. Moving right along, you got an older 2x2 Rubik's cube. Very basic. I don't like it. It's very like plasticky. It's heavy duty, but again, it isn't a 2x2 I'd ever use in a solve because again, it needs to be lubed. It's very tight. So I mean, it's built well, but it's very tight cube, and it's not one that I necessarily enjoy playing with. So, so there you have it. There's your older school 2x2 Rubik's brand. So I have this interesting Meffert's Fisher cube. This one is an interesting solve. Like, it solves like a 3x3, but there are some interesting issues that come across when solving it. I might consider getting a newer one because this one falls apart a lot. A lot of these pieces like pop out, not pop and fall out, but like the end caps like fall apart a lot, and so I'm just terrified of like scrambling it and things just falling apart. So I try to keep this thing pretty well unused, but it's about as old school as it gets. Meffert's Challenge, designed by Tony Fisher. Like, how cool is that? So this is one of the cubes that came in that bag, and I was like, I can't pass it up. I have to like for 15 bucks, I get eight cool puzzles. Like, I might as well. So this is one that's fun. I might get a newer one and solve it for you. But again, it's a pretty easy cube to solve and fun to kind of break down. So there you have it. So here's my first, square one. The Calvin's puzzle. Not one I recommend for a number of reasons, but this puzzle, pieces do fall apart off of it. It's old, but this is the first square one that I've ever had, and I enjoy the solve enough to have purchased, the QiYi version of it. So I definitely recommend this one. Just, you can hear the difference in like the turning. Hear that versus that, just totally different experience. So again, this is again part of that puzzle pack that I bought for like 15 bucks, and I got this in there, and I was like, that's cool. So I mean, just an older school Calvin's puzzle. So moving right along, I have this I believe it's the Lan Lan Super Skewb. I haven't actually solved this one yet, but I need to. It's just been sitting there kind of collecting dust. I haven't really shown a lot of interest in it yet, but now that I'm going through my whole collection and doing a video of it, it's kind of reminding me of like, oh hey, I got these cubes that are sitting there, and I need to give them a whirl. So this one looks like it's going to be quite interesting, just for the fact that there are like lots of little, like, I don't know. I believe it's it's pretty straightforward. It shouldn't be like super hard to solve, but it'll be fun to take a crack at it. And if I have any issues, I could probably just find a tutorial. But that's not really how I like to roll. I like to apply what I kind of know with cubes and try to solve them first. So yeah, very interesting puzzle. Yeah, and again, I think it's a Lan, but I'm not entirely sure because there's no identifying marks on this cube at all. So if anybody knows and in the comments can figure out what it is, I'd love to hear exactly what this is. So yeah. And then here we have this weird kind of this mini quad cube. I've also never solved this before, but it might be harder than it looks. I'm not sure, but it certainly looks like it'd be fun to try. It's just so unappealing to me. It just looks dumb, but it was part of that, like $15 bundle I got, and I was like, well, I have one of these now, but I've never really had any interest in solving it. It's kind of a weird shape-shifty cube where, like it can kind of turn into that, and I don't know. I'm not entirely sure if that's even how it's supposed to like end up looking, but who knows. Either way, I have one. It's very miniature. It's not a big one. It looks big in comparison because it's on camera, but it's like holding it right here. Oh wow, look how big this cube is. But it has weird colors like purple. It's just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense as far as the color combinations go. But I'm not sure if purple is the counter red. I believe it is. So yeah, it should be. Anyways, it's also very flimsy, so I have no idea what the brand of this is. I just know it's like a mini quad cube, so yeah. And last but not least, the most difficult puzzle to solve is the Christmas cube I got. And this is me trying to turn it. I'm going to do just one full rotation. That is like gritty sandpaper. This is by far one of the hardest cubes I've had to solve. Not because it's a difficult cube to solve, but because of just the time it takes to solve it. There is no finger tricks. You have to do every move by this. And they have to be completely lined up before they'll even attempt to move. So, not a whole lot of fun to solve, but, again, this is a special cube to me because, it was a gift, and it's cool. So, there you have it. Alright, I wanted to thank you for watching. This is my entire 2017 collection that I've been saving up. And yeah, hopefully it builds from here. And I'll do more videos come in the future. But there was quite the video. So there was about an hour's worth of content. So again, thank you again for bearing with me, and I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions or comments, put them down below. Also, if you haven't subscribed to me yet, please subscribe. I definitely enjoy watching this channel grow as I put out more content, more comedy, more unboxings, more solves tutorials, and more things like this. So again, hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you soon. See ya.